Hey guys, I'm out here on the 440 tonight, getting close to finishing it up. I've got headers, I've got engine mounts, I've got a dipstick tube, and I got some new studs I'm putting in the heads. Getting these headers kind of fabbed up. I'm not going to cinch everything down real tight because I got a feeling when it goes in the car, we might have to have those loose and just kind of, squeeze it in. It's going to be tight. The instructions that came with both the headers and the engine mounts both talk about grinding. So yeah, it's going to get interesting. Looking here, it looks like the headers are saying the power steering box, which my car has power steering, is going to need to have some grinding done. So maybe not all of them, but it says some of them are going to have this little ear taken off where the hose goes in. So that's one thing to consider. And the engine mounts as well, there's going to be clearances on the frame. It says where the engine mounting perch is going to have to be cut out. So they give you really nice instructions on how to do that. So when we get to that point, when the original engine comes out of the car, I have more access, I'll get in there and put this notch. That's for the oil pump. Looks like right here, this backside is going to get in the way. You can see where the mount's going to be. Here's the mount that goes onto the engine, and it's going to be mounted up to a piece of frame. So, all right, well, tonight we're going to do a couple things. Probably get the dipstick tube in. I'm also getting the headers kind of fabbed up. Put in little anti-seize on each of these. Excuse me. And looks like these are just something you can put in hand tight. Well, I mean, we're going to use a tool, but we're not going to reef them down. They pretty much are bottoming out in the cylinder head. So they'll have nuts on them holding the headers. Those all came with the kit. It was a while ago I bought these. I want to say it was on eBay. Had the stainless header studs. So check that out. Quick search and you'll find those. My headers came from Schumacher Creative Services, as did the motor mounts. I bought them at different times. The headers you got to watch. Well, maybe both parts. They don't have them in stock all the time. So if you need those, if you're getting close to that part of your build, get them ordered because you don't want to be caught on a back order or something like that. But I've been busy with other stuff, unfortunately. Maintenance and things like that take time away from the fun stuff. So now I'm back on fun stuff. Got a pile of parts, which is cool. I have a starter too, mini starter. So we're going to put that, kind of where it goes in this area of the block. I don't have the transmission over here, of course, but we'll kind of see how it looks with these headers. These headers are probably the only ones that work with a raised block 440 in a body Dart or Barracuda, right? Small car, relatively small, with power steering. I think that everything's going to be super tight, and we're going to be lucky if it fits, but it's certainly been done. Plenty of people have stuffed these engines in those cars over the years, so I'm sure we'll find a way. But as the instructions indicate, get ready to grind. It talks about poor factory tolerances and the need to maybe do some shimming, or the fact that there's like 7/16 bolts with 1/2-inch holes on the motor mounts. So there's like some slop, if you will, tolerance there you can play with. So I'm not going to put the engine mounts on like wicked tight because I think we're going to have to, again, play with those as everything falls into place on the K-frame. All right, probably the first thing I should do is get that dipstick tube in. This one was just something from Jegs or Summit, and I don't remember, I bought it a while ago. It's pretty basic, but I think it will be fine. In this case, I'm going to put some black RTV on the end. It's going to fit down in the block there, and of course where it fits in, it's well above the oil line, but still some RTV. That whole thing's under pressure, so let's put a little bit of that on there and make sure that's going to have a good seal. Whoops, I probably should be wearing gloves. Our TV makes a mess. But wasn't planning on doing a whole lot of dirty work here. So we're just going to use our fingers tonight. All right. Let's wipe it up quick. All right, let's see. There's a couple ways I think to do this. First of all, it's going to be on this far side of the motor mount. And it's going to be, I think, a tight fit because of the chrome plating on here. So I've got a tool, I got a couple wrenches here we could use maybe to work it down. And I've got a big block of steel, but it's actually too big to drive it all the way home. It's going to end up hitting the block at some point, but I can probably start with it. It's going pretty well. All right, let's see if we can finish with a 10mm wrench here. It's going to go a little further. You can kind of hear the sound change a little bit when it's all the way. All right, that wasn't too bad. So the dipstick's in. Now it's not bolted up yet because the motor mount has to go in first. And then the same bolt that holds the motor mount on this side, where there's one ear on the block, will hold that dipstick tube. And you know, when it gets in the car, I don't know, we might have to do some more bending. So I was hesitant to put it on, but I'm just trying to get as far as I can here. So, all right, well, we've got the studs in, we got our dipstick tube in, and let's see how those headers fit. All right, well, this one here, I already kind of unboxed it. Oh, I got to get my gaskets out, but I'm so curious to see how this is going to fit. Oh yeah, it's going to fit nice with that dipstick tube. All right, let's check out the gaskets. The headers came with gaskets, I think. Yes. Actually, these things are packed real nice with foam. The headers look pretty good to me. You know, there's a couple little dents in them from like the compression bending, but not terrible. They're ceramic coated, and yeah, they did a nice job packing them. A lot of bubble wrap, a lot of that foam in the box. So I think they made the journey, probably all the way across the country. I forget where Schumacher's out of, I think California. Yeah, they're pretty sweet. Okay, I'll set that one aside for a second. And get after those gaskets. Okay, now these are Remflex gaskets. You'll see a lot of people talk about these. They're good for sealing up, I guess, problem areas. They're 100% graphite and they're really thick. So it says torque to 20 foot-pounds. Don't bend them. So I'm not going to put them on top of the engine because they're made of graphite, and that can be sometimes a little bit flaky. I need graphite floating around on the engine, but yeah, you can see they're like 1/8 of an inch thick, and when you put 20 foot-pounds of torque on them, they'll compress to about half of that thickness. And this can handle really high heat. I guess they're the best gaskets out there. So, especially if you're using headers, you probably want to get yourself some of those, even if you're not using the Schumacher brand headers themselves. I've used them before, and I don't think it matters which way they're mounted, but I'm going to probably go with the rougher side to the cylinder head. Okay, pop that on there. Okay, it's looking good. It's not smaller than the ports, which is important. You wouldn't want it interfering with the flow, of course. All right, let's get that header back in place. And I'm gonna grab the nuts 6 per side. And those are going to be 9/16. Okay. And I'm not going to put this on too tight because I want to slip that starter up in there. Let's just put 2 on there and make sure it's not going to fall off when we're monkeying with it. And yeah, we're going to eyeball it. Hey, sorry I keep walking in front of the camera again. It's kind of tight out here. So I'm doing my best with the space I have. No matter how big your garage is, it seems like you always need more space. So I could have a garage another 100 feet wide and I would probably just fill it with other cars and projects. So maybe it's good my garage is so big, it limits how many cars I have, at least inside. All right, so this is gonna bolt into the transmission case. The gear is gonna go towards the torque converter and engage in that. And you can already see it is going to be very, very tight. Oh man, I'm not sure the exact angle. Probably like that, close to like that, I think. But boy, when that clamps down, it's going to be probably kissing it. Let me bring the camera over here. Man, look at that. So it's going to depend on, I guess, the exact location as it bolts into the transmission, but man, it's going to be tight. There might have to be just a little grinding on that too. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to read all the instructions. I think they do talk about different starters having clearance issues and stuff. I bought a small one. I hope that, you know, the ears aren't too beefy or something. Going to be getting in the way. We'll see. But so far it looks like it's going to fit. So for what it's worth, we're going to just go ahead and get these kind of snugged up. And then we'll get into the motor mounts. You can check out how those fit. There's not a lot to this, but it's still cool to have a video. It's fun to get the engine almost done. And, you know, in case you're anticipating that there could be some difficulty, then the video will show you how straightforward this stuff really is. Now, it could be very different in the car, right? If your engine's in the car and you were trying to put headers on, you might end up lifting your engine up. But again, these gaskets compress and deform, so I am not going to get crazy and torque these things down yet. In fact, 20 foot-pounds is not a lot. So I'm just gonna go snug. The day I get a cherry picker and put this in, I might even take them off and kind of have someone help me put them in as the engine gets in position. Okay, let me try this gasket. Make sure that all these are torqued. These studs are good. I think I went across them all, but since I'm talking, perhaps I should double check. There we go. They're all good. Okay. Other header. This one's pretty sweet. Actually looks a little bit better. This one here that we just put on is the one that I noticed had some little dents. Right there was one. It's where they're bending the tube. Right there's the other. So kind of the same place. But oh well, it is what it is. All right, let me see if I can get this over on this side so I can see what's going on. See all the junk in here. Well, it's good junk. Big boy toys, dirt bikes. All right. Yeah, I was riding, took a vacation day. Gaskets in. Took a vacation day Thursday and went up north. Dirt biking, always fun. Hit it perfectly. Trails where they had groomed out some of the whoops. I'm in Michigan. So there's like 3,000 miles of trails. And whoops, a lot of trails, and they periodically, the DNR goes through and they groom the trails to get all those whoops that naturally occur. So you may or may not care about that, but in case you're wondering about the motorcycles in the background. Last year this time I was stoked because I got that Honda Valkyrie on the road. Bike I had bought from a friend and was getting it running, so that was fun. Kind of been looking for a Harley project. Love to pick up a Fat Boy, or I don't know, maybe a Heritage, maybe a Street Glide, or Road King. I guess those would be my 4 picks. And yeah, maybe buy a non-running bike or something and see if I can't resurrect it. I have another fun toy. So yeah, headers are on. Okay, what next? I don't want this to be a terribly long video, so we're doing good, I think. So why don't we just grab these motor mounts? So these are the Schumacher mounts. There's the number. Now I'm leaving the slant 6 K-frame in the car. They make different mounts if you've got the small block K-frame. And it comes with instructions. There's a smaller mount here and then a bigger one. And let's see which is which. Instructions. So at least with the slant 6, the left side, so that'll be here, is the smaller one, and the right side is the bigger one. So if you're sitting in the car, left side, right side. So let's see, you're gonna need the small one here, and that is gonna go, it's pretty obvious, there's 2 holes on one side and 1 on the other. 2 holes here, 1 side on the other, and it's got 1 fat lug on your block, so it kind of error-proofs it, right? So there's really only 1 way it can go, is like that. If you try to put it over here, right, it doesn't bolt up. So you have to go this way, and that's where it's gonna sit. Okay, let me grab 3 bolts. These came with the kit, so that's cool. Looks like all really nice hardware here. Plenty of washers. You got enough washers to put 1 on the bolt and 1 with the nut. It's probably all grade 8 or grade 5 hardware. So let's see. And you're gonna have 2 shorts and 1 long bolt. So, and they go from the inside out. So your long one's gonna be on the fat lug, of course. There she goes. And then a short here. And in this case, we're gonna try to line up the motor mount and the dipstick tube. There we go. And then another short down here. And there it goes. All right, washers. That one's gonna be a little tricky. And the nuts. And these are, looks like 11/16 and 5/8. I'm thinking SAE sizes. This one's the tricky one here. Get started. Not much clearance. Okay. So again, these are the diameter of the threads, and the bolt is 7/16, and the holes you're working with are 1/2 inch. So you've got some slop there. As things go down on the frame and you have some clearance issues, you can, you know, lift the engine or move it left to right, or what needs to happen to at least use that little bit of slop you have. So for now, I guess what we'll do here, I still have the 9/16 from the headers. Let me swap that out. Okay. Walk in front of the camera 50 times. Of course. All right, let's see if we're right here. 5/8, yep. That's good, okay. So, this side. Get this easy one. I'm just gonna make it snug. All right. In this case, I'm gonna push the dipstick up a little bit towards that header. There's a little bit of slop on the hole on the bracket. So we're gonna use that to our advantage. And of course the socket's not gonna fit. So we're gonna need an 11/16 wrench, which I don't have out, of course. But I actually have those in my other garage. Nice. Let's do this. Maybe we can find the metric equivalent, probably an 18. Yeah, it's pretty dang close. Okay. Okay, that's snug. Again, we're not going all the way torqued down yet. All right, let's get the other side. Get that on there and we're done for tonight. Let's see. Pretty close. All right, get this guy. Okay, same thing here, 2 and 2, and it can only go one way. So I'll get my big bolt on the top, a couple little guys on the other 2 holes, and these things fit like a glove. So they weren't cheap. I mean, they don't look like they're much. As far as content here, I forgot what they were, guys, but you can look them up online. It is what it is. It's the new way, working with all this old stuff. It's not a dime a dozen anymore. Everything is about 2 or 3 times what you would expect to pay for something. So get ready to spend a couple $100 on a couple little motor mounts. But there's cheaper ways. There might be another company making them, but I trust Schumacher's. They've developed this stuff, so they get my business. Okay. Yeah, we're doing good. Even with that fuel pump there, plenty of room to work. All right, well, hey, I'll leave myself a note that I didn't put that stuff down, and we'll call this a wrap. All right, I'll see you guys later. We're almost done. I'm not even sure what the next step is because I don't think I'm going to put the carburetor on until it gets in the engine bay, but I'll think about it, see if there's any other videos I can bring you, or if you're going to watch me slide this thing in the engine bay. It's just going to pop right in, right? All right, see you guys. Bye.